David Sibelia.
And I'm Stone Hardy.
And tonight we're going to be covering the Blu-ray release of Star Trek Into Darkness.
And we'll be having a look at the first issue of the official Star Trek Starships collection from Eaglemoss.
Okay, well, first of all, there are lots of versions of the Blu-rays available. We've gone for the two we bought, funnily enough, because that would be the way to start. I went for the, now let me get this right because it's tricky wording, the Play Marketplace.
Yeah, Play.com Marketplace.
Yeah, there you go, because as many of you know, Play.com sadly went under a little while ago and have now been changed into subsidiary groupings. So what this actually is the entertainment store exclusive, which is available through the Play Marketplace, blah 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 blah. This is the limited edition gift set, which includes the Villains ship, which will be unpackaging shortly. And Sven, which one did you go for?
I went for the Amazon.co.uk version because it was significantly cheaper, though they've now already sold out before they actually started shipping them out, which was £17, but it's only got the 2D version of the film in it and a digital copy, whereas that one has the 3D version of the film in as well.
Okay, so worth noting on the packaging, the slip cover comes off. Okay, so let's just open this up. We have a special exclusive Villains ship, made in China. How nice is that? I actually put that in the packaging. Okay, although it is plain packaging, it is in fact the Hot Wheels U.S.S. Vengeance, which is available in the big box sets that you can get. So buying it with the 2 and 3D version of the Steelbook worked out. I was happy with paying the retail, which was 44. Okay. So I was quite happy with that. I thought that the box is embossed.
Right, whereas with the Amazon release, I've already taken off the plastic film. Another J card, just to make it localised to the UK market, so you've got the BBFC certificate as well as the Irish certificate on the back. Just a bit about the film on there. You've got the sticker on the front, which I'll be taking off at some other point. That's just again for certification. Embossed, logo embossed, John Harrison. We've got the logo on the side and the handcuffs.
Okay,
we'll show you some photos, proper photos of that in a second. But yeah, there you go. So if we compare those side to side.
There you go. The advantage of this version, no stickers.
Yeah, because they're on the box.
They put them all on the box. So let me ask you this very important question. How much did you feel buggered by Paramount?
Well, up until the weekend, when we started finding out what was happening in the States, I wasn't too bothered. I mean, I'm not hugely worried about special features unless it's something really interesting. I mean, this has got, and assume the same as on your 2D disc, is you've got a small number of special features, which is creating the Red Planet, attack on Starfleet, Klingon homeworld, enemy is my enemy, ship to ship, and brawl by the bay, which I assume is exactly what you've got.
Yep.
No, it doesn't really tell you anything.
It doesn't on the packaging, but I had a sneak peek at the disc, obviously, and yep, although I haven't seen the 3D disc, I'm assuming it's the same.
Yeah. Now, apparently there's something between, was it 8 or 10?
Right, there's
10
versions of the Blu-ray. If you buy every version, which by the way, I clocked it up without shipping in the United Kingdom, because you have to get the 2 American versions, comes to over £200, you still only get approximately 60% of the special features available for this film. And that includes using the digital download from iTunes, which is a whopping 5 gig, which is always good if you're on limited broadband.
Now, as far as I'm aware, the version that you download from iTunes, if you buy it from there, is an exclusive thing, whereas the digital copy you get from iTunes is just the film.
Yep.
And it's just the film in standard definition, I would imagine.
Yep.
It usually is. So you have to buy, to get all the special features, you have to buy 9 disc versions, is it? And then the iTunes version as well. Because
8 disc version.
8 disc versions and then the iTunes version.
8 disc versions, the iTunes version. You get 60% of the specialist content. Although it does look like our brothers down under are getting the best deal, because the Australian one has pretty much all of the release, including 2 deleted scenes, which aren't even available in America, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
Yeah, it's
a bit of a strange one.
But there is always the possibility that BD Live might add stuff later.
Yeah.
But Paramount have been very cagey and not really saying much, as you can imagine. And then of course you've got the Korean and Japanese releases, which being as it's only just premiered in the cinema in Japan a couple of weeks ago.
It was just, funnily enough, it was just hitting Spain when I was over there at the end of July.
Yeah, so you're looking at a Blu-ray release more towards Christmas for some of the markets. So by that point, some of those versions of the disc could very well have a lot more special features than the ones that have been confirmed in English-speaking parts of the world. Because of course the Americans haven't even got this yet.
Those of you who aren't aware, the Americans are getting a really nice box set. It's available through Amazon. You can only do pre-orders at the moment. You remember the metal Star Trek hand phaser they did for the 2009 reboot?
Yeah.
It looks like the same metal one, except it was around.
Oh right, that's interesting.
All the artwork clearly shows it twisted around. Whether it's still metal, you can't tell from the artwork.
And that's the one that's down for release in Italy as well.
Yeah, that's so the Americans have got that, and the Italians are getting it. What I presume is happening is that they're doing the special release over there, and then just sticking a new card back on it for their market. So
because the one thing I've noticed is all the discs these days all seem to have the federal United States federal warnings at the beginning, which is obviously completely irrelevant to everybody outside of the States, but it just means that they're cheaper to make the discs, which is in itself slightly annoying, because these discs have had to be produced and pressed with the BBFC logos on, or BBFC logo rather, for the 12, which is the law in the United Kingdom. It's got to have that on the disc. But how boring is that disc? Where's the artwork?
yeah, but all of them have got generic art, and none of the discs have been given artwork for.
Which is just ridiculous.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, they put artwork on there, and then you start getting. No, I'm amazed Paramount haven't jumped on that. Oh, let's do different artwork on them, sell different copies. But people argue that they can't read them, and then there's also the argument that they couldn't tell the age definition due to the artwork. I mean, there were some wonderful discs produced in the mid-90s. There were CD tracks where they actually etched on the discs pictures, and they could still be played either side, and they were fantastic. And yet that technology seems to be ditched. I mean, you couldn't do it on Blu-ray, but it would have been nice if they'd attempted something.
Absolutely.
So as far as the packaging goes, it's dealer's choice. You buy the one you want. Your disc content, again, dealer's choice. You need to look and decide what content you want, and buy the relevant copy. What I will say though is, for the actual film, the quality is amazing. I do not have any other Blu-rays of that quality. They actually refer to it as reference quality. It really is stunning.
It's up. I mean, this is the things. I must admit, I've got a few of the Blu-rays that have been used as reference material previously. Ironically, one of them is Superman Returns. But only the opening credit sequence, things like that. So yeah, and a lot of people used to use Iron Man, because if you got Iron Man on Blu-ray and Iron Man on DVD being uprated on an upratable DVD player onto the same screen, the Blu-ray pops and just grabs your attention. You don't even notice the DVD's playing. So we've got a situation there where Paramount have basically created several different extra discs for different retailers in the States, So there is no definitive version with everything on, which you normally expect from a Blu-ray release, especially a 3D Blu-ray release.
Yeah.
Now in this country, we have a situation where Sainsbury's, for the DVD version, has an extra disc with some extras on, which nobody else can get. But they haven't done it with a Blu-ray as far as I'm aware, or it's the DVD with it, not a Blu-ray version of the extras. And then you've got a situation where to get everything, you need to go and buy several different versions and download a 5 gig to get the actual commentary that so many people have actually been showing interest in.
And that's only at the moment.
Yeah.
Because as you said, we're still waiting on numerous other countries' releases. Now, okay, I will admit, as my house is a testament to, I am officially Paramount's bitch. And I do like packaging variations, but I like packaging variations to be just that. I want the inside product to be the same damn thing, so I don't have to open them all. Where these, you have to, and it is ridiculous. I mean, you said to me earlier on when you were talking about the re-release for the next generation, how Germany have the steelbooks for the whole seasons, and you have a pin, and they're the only country to do it. And hats off to the Germans for that, because fair play, they got a nice packaging and they got a free gift.
Yeah.
They did the same with the videos as well. And weirdly enough, they did something very strange with Deep Space Nine, because when they were releasing those on DVD, when they got to season 5, they did a complete box set 1 to 5, and it had a bag and a flask and a torch, and it said waiting, and it was a great little thing. Where normally, like over here, they waited until the end, season 7, and then did the big box set. So, in Germany they've always been fairly up, and yet, strangely enough, for the Blu-ray, nothing special.
Yeah.
And you'd have thought Germany for this would have something really nice.
The interesting thing is it looks like, in the past we've had CIC Video who kind of went into bat for us quite a lot compared with Paramount Home Video in the States.
Yeah,
to make sure that we didn't get stuffed quite as badly as America.
Yeah, we had a couple of video cover variances, because originally the original series was released with cardboard covers, which far superior to the plastic ones. They were really nice artwork, but they killed that about halfway through, which was a shame. It was a nice touch.
But then there was also the situation where in the States they released the original DVD releases of the original series. Only had 2 episodes on each disc, in really naff packaging, and we got the proper releases, 3 or 4 episodes of disc and so on and so forth. But it's interesting to see the change in things, because obviously Paramount Home Video now controls the Paramount films, not only in the States but over here, because CIC Video disappeared some time ago, as well as Germany and so on and so forth. But then you've got CBS, because what happened with Star Trek is it got split. The theatrical, as it were, the cinema version of Star Trek is still with Paramount, whereas because of Viacom owning everything, the TV version of Star Trek, everything to do with Star Trek on television, is with CBS. Now, CBS could very well have turned around and for Blu-ray release on Classic Trek and the original series and Next Gen, do a release and then do the cleanups and then release them again. But they didn't. They got the releases right. They've done all of the going back to the original negatives, cleaning them all up, putting in replacement footage for special effects if necessary, and so on and so forth. In fact, with Classic Trek, it's brilliant because you just use the angle button and you can switch between the original effects, which are still cleaned up as best they could, and the new computer generated stuff, which includes footage that they storyboarded they could never film at the time, which is stunning. Again, with Next Gen, it was all filmed on actual 35mm film, so they've gone back to the original negatives, and okay, it's 4:3, and loads of people are moaning it's not in widescreen letterbox. Well, it wasn't filmed in widescreen letterbox, so unless you want to lose some bits, it's got to be 4:3. And it looks absolutely stunning. It's a gorgeous representation of it. It's way better than anything we've ever seen next gen in before. But again, it was just one release. Now, okay, I'm getting the German next gen release because it's steelbooks and
the packaging's better.
and the pricing difference is so minimal once you've taken everything into account. That you might as well. But at least it's coming out reasonably at the same time. There's no buy the plastic version. Oh, by the way, we've now got a collector's edition like a year later. So that's quite nice. But it feels like Paramount, with their own properties now, as it were, are really taking the mick. Because I can't see Disney, for instance. I mean, we all know Disney can make money left, right, and centre at any time they like. But do they do different versions for different retailers?
No.
No.
Well, yeah, okay, they kind of do and they kind of don't.
Yeah.
Mainly with the videos, but obviously videos have been and gone.
Yeah.
What they did was everybody could have the film and the artwork on the box, but it would just be a standard black plastic box. Where you went into the Disney stores and bought them, they were all blue plastic and they had Mickey Mouse on the album catchers.
Yeah.
So if you were serious about always wanting the same one and paying the extra money, you did
But
that.
that was only packaging variants. There was no messing
No,
about.
there was no messing about with the content. But the thing is, as some of you may know, I'm also a Muppet fan, and I was not a happy bunny when Disney bought Muppets, because Disney always stylised their own external franchises to be Disney versions. They've done it with everything they've ever owned. But I'll give them the due. Everything they released film-wise, so.
Yeah. And it's the same.
And they did a lovely job with it as well.
And let's face it, they haven't done much to the Marvel properties.
No, they've actually, they've shown amazing restraint with the Marvel properties.
So everybody was worried about Star Wars. I don't think you need to worry so much, because they know that if they do too much to it, it's not going to make any money. So, it's...
It just means you're going to get the mouse with the lightsaber occasionally.
Yeah, well, we've seen a mouse that turns into an Optimus Prime, so I'm not going to worry too much.
Yeah.
You know.
So, right, other than wanting to call Paramount names,
Yes.
generally, it really does just boil down to the film is the same in all the versions.
Yeah.
Yay, that's good, excellent quality. As far as I know, they've not done any different edits of the film. So yeah, all the information I could find was that. So it's just a case of finding the version that you want. I would recommend that you actually look into all the variants that are available, and just try and decide the special features that you actually want. Okay, thank you, Sven, for fading out and fading back in for me just swearing a lot. We really are going to have to come up with some sort of thing I can say so you don't have to keep doing that during the end.
So 2D version UK Amazon. That's the entertainment store 2D and 3D version, and there's also another Steelbook 2D and 3D version which has got the Enterprise trying to fall to pieces as it crashes towards Earth.
Shame it didn't manage it. I hate that ship. I hate that ship so much.
But there we go. Have a look around. Lord knows what HMV have got, because they're not even saying on their Facebook page or anywhere about anything they're doing to do with Star Trek and Stars. In fact, in the weeks leading up to the release, they weren't even advertising the fact it was coming out in their stores, which is kind of like, really? But there we go. Just have a look around. Just bear in mind that in most cases you're probably only going to get 6 extra features. You're not going to get the commentary in a million years on the disc. And then just have a look at the features and see what you're interested in. If you're not into Steelbooks, again, look around. You might want to have a look at Sainsbury's. It's just there's so many different versions. It's mind-boggling.
Okay, we're going to give you some pretty pictures to look at while we get ready for the next segment. Hi and welcome back. And in this segment we're going to review the Star Trek Starships Diecast Collection magazine. No, I said it wrong. Let's get it right. The official Star Trek Starships Diecast magazine. God, try doing that after a few beers.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, it's going to be getting hard. Although, they don't put that on the actual magazine. It's on the cardboard, but not on the magazine.
But they are diecast. There is usually quite a chunk of diecast in them.
Yeah, I mean, oh, there we go. The source section on this is battle drive isn't, no, SAL isn't, but the source
As
section.
long as the primary hull's metal.
That's it, you know, as long as Deanna can crush it and it's all good. I tell you what, I don't know about you, but genuinely, I think these are breathtaking models.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the level of detail in them is astounding, considering the size of them. To say they're accurate is an understatement, frankly. The only things you don't get on there are things that would be physically impossible to put on, frankly.
Well, in this size.
In this size, so you know they're really worth it. I mean, to be honest, $1.99 for this is absolutely insane.
Yeah, but that's the hook. It's part work. The part works always go with the loss leader for the first one. I mean, the packaging is lovely. Cardboard packaging, round, plastic bubble, top and bottom, held in place as well, so you've actually got to pop it out. You've got the ship, you've got a metal stand.
Yeah, and some weight to that as well.
Oh yeah, it's a decent, you've not really got to worry about it toppling over, like with the model kits. Some of those model kits are very poorly designed, you smack. Little sticker underneath so you actually know which base goes on what.
Have they numbered them? Yeah. Because this is the thing, this is the first ones we got last year, didn't have numbers on them.
Didn't have them. Right, the stamp piece is nice, well designed, individually done for each ship as well. They're not just using, I mean, okay, the dome part, that's probably generic for all of them. Although, the end piece where this connects in changes from ship to ship, so you know it's only the shape that is. So you can see, now we did a whole special on how to do this. You put it in like that,
bring it all the way back
and then all the way forward, and that's an angle. Right, now that's on there, I'm going to take it off again and just look at the toy. It really is just, it's beautiful, it's really nicely done. I love the fact that, now I've got to admit, if this was me, I was building this, I wouldn't have used clear plastic in the nacelles, I'd have painted the darn thing on. Who would know? Yeah. Seriously, I mean, with this scale and this model, although I do think it's a little bit of a shame, I'm not criticising the model, because I think it's fantastic. I do think it's a shame that they used clear plastic for the nacelles, but didn't for the main deflector dish. Yeah. But, you know what, I'm not even going to class that as a criticism because I cannot speak highly enough of these. I think they're fantastic. I think the next one up, when it jumps up to £7, is still fantastic value for money. I think when it jumps to £9.99, it's still fantastic value for money. I have to agree.
This is the thing, I know a lot of people have been moaning and going on about what a rip-off $9.99 is.
No.
It's not. It simply isn't. The context for that being is that if you could imagine finding this model in a little model shop on its own, specifically designed to be sold as a gift or a collectible, there's no way in hell it would be under £10.
No.
Not in a million years.
But the thing is, forget the model. Ditch the concept of the model, go with it as a toy.
Yeah.
Corgi was the last company that did metal versions of the ship. After that was Futrell, which did the smaller than this plastic version. Then after Futrell was Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels ones. No, all of those retail for more.
Yeah, and these are far, far more accurate.
You know what, I've missed one. Johnny Lightseed, which I know is still Hot Wheels, but Johnny Lightning and Lightseed. Oh, I miss my balls. Yeah, I can't believe people are complaining about it. And I mean, the magazine as well. me and you both looked through the magazine. Did
Yeah.
you see anything that jumped out to you as being a huge error without you going back and checking through
No,
every
I
technical
don't think
magazine?
there's anything that's an error. The thing is there's nothing new in it.
No, well, no. But
Then how would there be?
yeah.
I mean, how many reference books have been done, especially about the Enterprise D?
To tell you the truth, I've got to admit, with some of the ships they've got lined up,
It'll be interesting.
I'm actually quite looking forward, because the amount of information that's actually out there is only going to be whatever the artist or the writer came up with as a backstory, which we've never seen in an episode. So they're going to be using reference material that we might not necessarily have.
And that's another point. Yes, it's £10 an issue, but we're talking about ships that have never, ever even been contemplated as being done as models.
Yeah.
Ever. They're having to do some new research for the magazines eventually, because how they're going to fill something with, how many pages are we talking? It's a 20-page magazine. Yeah. Okay, it's nice and glossy. Right, when we get to the Enterprise J, which is on the list of 70 starships we're talking about, you've got one appearance in the background of one Enterprise episode. How are you going to fill 20 pages on that?
Artwork's only going to cover so much,
Yeah.
screenshots only going to cover so much, and then...
And considering in that particular case there's one screenshot and then Doug Drexler's render, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So it could get interesting what they do later on. But as I said, there was the 70 issues coming initially.
Initially, yeah, because they have been very specific.
Specifically
They're going first wave.
And then you've got, I mean, okay, they have got the Enterprise refit down and they've got Enterprise A, so I'm expecting them to pick out the details that are different on that.
I'm hoping they do.
Obviously they're doing the Excelsior NCC 2000 rather than NX 2000, and we're getting the Enterprise B, so that's a reuse of a model with slight changes.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they do pick up on the differences there quite strongly, which they probably need to make it, seem worthwhile. But honestly, these models are definitely worth more than, they're definitely worth £10, if not a little bit more.
Oh, don't say that. After speaking to their phone line, don't give them any of that.
But the interesting thing here, another point of reference is that there has been recently released AMT kits through their new owners, where they've done the Enterprise refit from Motion Picture and Wrath of Khan. They've got the Katinga class D9 thing on Battle Cruiser as seen in the Motion Picture, and you've got the Reliant as seen in the Wrath of Khan. And these models are all on the scale of 1 to 2,500, which puts them slightly smaller than the Enterprise refit that comes in issue 2 of this. Now, to get that model kit of those 3 ships, bearing in mind we're talking about a plain model kit you then have to build and paint and then put decals on, is retailing at 30 quid.
Yeah.
So this, in comparison, is at the very least decent value for money.
I've got no criticism of the magazine. I like the magazine. And no criticism of the toy.
Yeah.
Model or whatever else we may yet choose to call these in some future thing. The only things I would personally complain about is the phone line for when you want to subscribe. Very unhelpful.
Yeah.
I found on 2 separate occasions. One was because we both pre-registered for this.
Yeah.
Long
Well, let's be honest. We actually subscribed to this during the test marketing last year because we picked up one of them, didn't we?
Yeah,
that we could get our mitts on. We took one look at it and we just went, want, and so we both subscribed. Then after they released the Romulan Warbird.
Yeah, Romulan Warbird was the last one.
Last one they actually put out, and then they said it had been discontinued for a day. They basically said it was no longer available, and that was it. You phoned them up and asked them what was going on. They told you nothing. And he says, well, can I get some of the back issues I missed, because I missed the NX-01, the Enterprise NX-01. And they said, nope, nothing's available, we can't do anything, it's a licensing legal issue, blah blah blah, and that was it, that's all I can get out of it.
So it's great they did it, but again, see, I phoned them up and I was quite happy to resubscribe, although I had actually been emailed to tell me my old subscription would be renewed, so I was quite happy about that. So I was disappointed that I had to phone up. I was disappointed that when the operator said, well, what issue do you want to start from? I said, well, just start me from the first issue again. They went, 6 weeks waiting list. I was like, you're joking. He goes, no, it counts as a back issue because it's already available. So I was like, you know what, I'll just nip down to Asda and buy a load. Because at £2, I'm quite happy to have a few of them kicking around as gifts for people in the future who missed it. They then pushed the folders at £6.99, which I've got to confess, I said because I'll definitely get a few and decide whether it's worth keeping, because you can cancel that part of your subscription. They then said, do you want to do the every 3 months special? And I said, yeah, of course, because that's going to be a bigger version of this. And there have been rumours on Facebook, is it? That the first one's going to be Deep Space Nine. Which isn't the one I'm hoping for.
Because, well, there is some suggestions at other space stations.
I know. I want the mushroom.
You want the mushroom.
Always wanted the mushroom. But you know what? K7, I'd be happy with K7.
Yeah.
Utopia Pliny show, regular one. Tell you what, a regular one, I would be thrilled.
Yeah, well, you would. You're a massive Twok fan.
But I'm quite happy to
I just hope.
But 30 quid, and they don't have a list.
Yeah.
If you're charging £30, you should have a list of what is available.
Though, this is the thing, is that most of the people involved on the phone and at Eaglemoss with it don't have access to the list of the 70 Starships, which
is strange.
They've put on the Facebook page, but only in a response to someone who asked a question. There is a list of it on Memory Alpha, Memory Beta, one or the other, online as well.
But they're sat in front of a computer.
Yeah.
They should be able to
get the information, and they just.
I love the fact that when I phoned and gave them my customer reference number, they went, "Hello, Mr. Zabelia. I'm happy to answer your questions. What can I do for you?" I was like, "Well, this new subscription. I'm sorry, Mr. Zabelia, you don't appear in our database. How do you know my name? How do you know my name if I don't appear in your database?" I didn't give them my name, I just gave them the customer reference number. So, unhelpful phone operators isn't good. But on the other hand, you can just fill in the darn form.
I mean, to be fair, this is the thing that annoyed me as well, is that I contacted them some time ago when they were starting to push it again, because they actually had a display at Destination London, which I will not talk about. And then they did a few things at various shows. They went to the Las Vegas Star Trek show as well as SDCC. And I contacted them saying, well, is my subscription going to be carried over? Are you going to start from where I left off? Are you going to start at the beginning? Whatever. And they actually said, no, don't worry, we'll be in contact with you close to the time. Nothing. No contact whatsoever. So I messaged them through their Facebook page, their private message, and they turned around and said, yeah, don't worry, we've sorted it for you. You start back at issue 1, not a problem. Which is great. And then I didn't get an email or any kind of letter or anything. Hit the newsstands a week and a half later, I was like, what's going on? Because I haven't heard anything. So I contacted them back, and apparently, oh no, we haven't been able to sort it for you. So someone lied at some point. So I had to resubscribe, and I did it through the website, to be fair.
Maybe I should have tried that.
Yeah, maybe. So I've now had the email saying that I'm starting from issue 1. So, but obviously there's been no, the only thing that was on the site was, depending on your start date, there might be a delay to earlier issues. And
I'll send you the later ones, and hopefully you'll get
and you might get your first 2 charges closer together, and things like that. But fair enough. It's fine, because it's like, what they tend to do is charge you for a month's worth. So you'll get a charge. I'll get a charge for £8 or £9 for the first 2 issues, and then a charge for £20 for the next 2, and so on. So fine. They have actually told you as well on the website when you get the free gifts if you subscribe, because there's a Borg cube, the Enterprise D future version,
commissioning plaque,
your first binder, So you get all of those, and they're basically sent out to you
One per
at
issue.
certain points.
Yeah.
It's not actually one per issue.
The first free gift is with your first 2 issues, which will be issued.
Yeah, and so on and so forth.
So with every package, because they don't send them out one per month, they send you 2 issues out together once per month. They're not sending you out one every 2 weeks. They're sending you out 2 once a month, and that because that will be a big box. They're just putting in the gift with that.
If they do that, because like, when I did get subscription issues through last year, it was one.
That changed. It was. I had my invoice through with all my direct debit details, and
they are charging 2 issues together.
Yeah.
But they may be sending them out separately. They haven't actually made that clear.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting.
It'll be a bit annoying actually if it's on a newsstand and you're not getting it.
Yeah.
To be fair, so it'll be interesting to see quite how it works out, because again, there's no real information quite on how it works.
It is strange the amount of information they've been able to actually list. Interesting thing though, the Americans are getting it.
Yeah, and they're getting it at $20.
Yeah.
So they're actually being charged more than we are.
Which is unusual, but on the other hand, it's an English company, and we're presumably they're shipping it from here to America. So, I mean, I've got no idea on print runs and all the rest of it what that costs. So, whilst we can say, "Ooh, they're paying more than we are," once you take into account the costs and all the rest of it, yes, financially that they are, but when you consider runs and all the rest of it, it might not be that bad. And additionally, the American market probably isn't going to complain at the level of quality in this, because it is just, again, it's a stunning little stuff.
Let's just hope it doesn't drop off after those first few issues though.
You think that might be?
There's a little niggle at the back of my head that's going, yes, this one's gorgeous. The Enterprise refit is, the Bird of Prey is, the Warbird is very, very nice as well. I haven't seen NX-01 in the flesh, to be on the safe side.
I've seen photos, haven't seen very well.
But after that, it'll be interesting because if you look through the series guide you get with issue 1, there is some bits and pieces of picturing which is interesting. And they'd say things like, when they are available, the original CG models are used as reference. When they're available.
Shouldn't they always be available?
They should all be available.
I'm sorry, but
they're all CG'd up to death for Deep Space Nine at one point, let alone anything else.
I was about to say, Tobias, I'm sure would be more than happy to give them all the 3D renderings.
Toby Richter is quite capable of recreating them better than they ever were. So it'll be interesting to see quite how some of the later ships turn out in the series. If you look at the list of 70 that is kicking around, you have got Enterprise original series near the end, whereas Enterprise refits issue 2. Though to be fair, they have said that apart from say the first 6 issues or so, they're pretty sure what order they're going to be in, but it may minute changes might happen. And the list that they've got, they've literally said, well, this is what we're aiming for. The order could very easily end up being all over the place. But there is the original series Enterprise, the refit, the A, the B, the C, the D, the E, and the J.
As great as that is, it's the more obscure ships. It's the ships they've never done that I'm interested in. Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'm a tech geek. I like the ship designs.
There's never been, things like, I'm pretty sure the Akira class is down, and the only company that ever done a model of that was completely unofficial. So the quality of these could be very, very interesting, and if they're up to the standard of the D and the A, rather the refit, even with the refit having those little niggles that aren't quite screen accurate but make it a better model, arguably, it could just be very interesting to see what we do get out of this.
Now, obviously, issue 1 you can get from the newsstands. Issue 2 you're probably going to be able to get up to issue 4. So why don't we review up to the issue 4, and then by then people have either decided
so we'll
to
do
subscribe
that in
or
a
not.
future video.
But we could do a 6-month review. Wait until we've got a whole load of these things, actually let rip.
Because let's face it, you'll still be able to get the back issues when they look, and there paperback issues available, I would imagine, after it goes off the newsstands.
I would have thought.
I just hope that, for everybody's sake, because it's an Eaglemoss collection, and they've been doing the Batmobiles.
Yeah.
Some places have actually still got the current issue going on to their newsstands.
Really? That's been going for quite a while.
That's been going quite a while. But again, the Batmobile collection has been absolutely inundated with problems from a customer service point of view, with magazines and models arriving in pieces through the post. So I just hope we don't. I mean, this packaging is a lot better than the Batmobile.
I was about to say the Batmobile packaging is solid plastic.
Yeah.
They come in those.
It's not flexible in any way, shape or form. It's going to shatter. Whereas this is possibly a little bit safer for putting to the post. And also, what's worth bearing in mind is if you get the version that comes through the post, you won't get the card.
Yeah.
You'll just get the magazine and the model. And it's also worth noticing, actually, that if they go like they did last year, I think it was 2 issues I actually got through the post on the subscription. There was no backing card to keep the magazine flat.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And it was literally a case of the magazine put in a bag with the model in that box, rolling around. So it was a bit. Hopefully, this packaging remains capable. I did have one of those 2 was delivered where the packaging was a little bit cracked and damaged, but the model was fine. So I wasn't going to worry too much.
Well,
but if I get a damaged model and they show any problems with replacing it, I'm not going to be impressed.
No. Alright then, well we'll wrap it up there. We'll actually rerun the docking sequence for this ship that we put on the last Geekology, just because it's worth knowing.
Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Facebook and here on YouTube, please feel free. All the details will be in the description below, and I might flash them up if you're really lucky. I think that's it for today.
It is. Have a good night and we'll be talking to you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.